Hi, this is Don Crowther with a video about WordPress plugins. Plugins are programs that operate within the WordPress framework to accomplish tasks that are not available via the normal program. So in other words, if you think about it as here's the base WordPress program, and now you want to do something that it can't do, well, plugins are designed to step in and do those tasks, and there's hundreds of them available out there for WordPress. So one of the beauties of WordPress is that you can almost always find a plugin to do what you want to have done in WordPress. It's really cool. And the beauty of it is a lot of these plugins are free. And so it's a great system. So for example, you can have plugins to work on comment spam prevention. And I strongly recommend that you have and install one or more of those because that's a huge waste of time. Embedding of Twitter feeds, whether you want to put them in as every single one or you want to put in a digest for the day, whatever it is. Making social publishing easier, so the ability to do social bookmarking or publish to their Twitter feed or whatever. Sending out emails about posts so that people will get an email every time you do a new post. Displaying things differently. I'm going to show you an example that enables you to put a rotating picture at the top that then links into the articles that those pictures are associated with. Very cool, very different, but very impactful kind of program. All right, so how do you get to WordPress plugins? First option is to just go to Google and Google the term WordPress plugins, and on mine at least, it comes up right at the top and you're able to go click on it and go see them. You can also put in wordpress.org/extend/plugins, and that will give you a link into the directory. So this is the plugin directory for wordpress.org. As you can see, there are 11,061 plugins at the moment, 112 million downloads at the moment. So what I like to do is I like to start over here on most popular. Why? Because it's usually pretty tough in the world to manipulate something like a most popular when it comes to looking at how many times things have actually been downloaded and rating. It is possible, but this is usually a pretty good indication as to which ones the best, or at least the most popular ones are. So if I click on most popular, he gives me the plugin directory and it's giving me the most popular there. And so this is a list from highest rating. Actually, I think it's ranked on downloads, and you go down from there. And so it's got some great things. If you've got 3 million or 1 million or even 20,000 downloads of a given app, plugin, excuse me, you can usually pretty much estimate that that's going to be a pretty powerful plugin for you that will at least be proven to do the job. Now, if it's got 20,000 and it's got 1 star, that might be a different story. But the most popular ones are probably going to have some of the best ones right at the top. So what I recommend that you do is that you go through, when you install a new blog, you're going to pretty quickly decide these are the WordPress plugins that I really like using, and I'm going to show you a batch of them in just a moment. But what I recommend that you do is to go through those top 3 pages of the most popular and install the ones that you think that you should have. Like I said, many of them you can't go wrong. There are sometimes ones that are better than the ones that show up in the most popular, but at least the most popular will give you the primary functions you want. Then run them for a while, see how they work, and if you find that some of them aren't doing the job you want them to do, then go get more to fill those specific needs. Somebody asked me, how do I keep track of all the newest plugins? Well, you don't really have to. Just use this system right here, and you don't necessarily need to know all the fancy new plugins. You may want to watch, the things that I'm talking about, the things that others are talking about, and you'll start to see if there is something new and hot that comes out. But don't worry about them most of the time. Just go through this system and you'll be able to have your blog working exactly the way you want it to. Now, let me take you through a list of plugins that I recommend that you have. Now, as I go through these, it may be that you don't like X particular one. But what I'm trying to say here is these are ones that I know work, that I know are good. You may find one that you like better than it, but you probably still ought to have that function somewhere in your WordPress plugins. So you may not like Akismet, which fights comment spam. There are a number of other ones. There's reCAPTCHAs. There's a number of other different comment spam tools that you can use out there. And so if you like something else better, go ahead and replace these. But you really need to have some plugins, at least one, if not two or three, that fight comment spam, because that is one of those things that just sucks up huge amounts of time because of the way comment spam works. Second one is Google Analytics for WordPress. Basically what this does is that it hooks, you install this and it automatically, you put in one line of code from Google Analytics and you just drop it in and it puts it in all throughout your WordPress, and you're able to see everything that you've got going there. The all-in-one SEO pack. This is the changes WordPress should make so that everything works well from an SEO standpoint. I haven't figured out yet why they don't just make these changes, but this one actually is a must. You should definitely get the all-in-one SEO pack. Google XML sitemaps. I'm not going to explain this a lot here, but you need a plugin that does this, that creates a Google sitemap. It's important for your SEO, and so I strongly suggest that you install this or a different plugin that will create a Google XML sitemap. Fast Secure Contact Form. There's several of these out there. Basically what you're trying to do is have some way that you can create a Contact Us form so that people will be able to send you email through it, but you're going to want to use one that has some spam prevention kinds of things to prevent you from just being added to all the spam lists. Share this, and there's a lot of different kinds of ones that do this, which basically install social sharing buttons in many different iterations. I like this one because it does have 5 or 6 different ways that you can show the buttons, and you can have just 2 or you can have 40 or whatever it is. 40 is probably an exaggeration, by the way. W3 Total Cache. This enables you to create flat, not dynamic files. So one thing that WordPress does is that every page is built when someone asks for it. That's great in that if you make a change to an ad or make a change to how you want your site to appear, it will instantly appear for the very next person that comes in and uses it. But the problem with that is that if you ever make it to the front page of Dig, if you ever get really popular, you go viral or something like that, you can literally shut down your entire server because of this creation of dynamic files. And so this particular program allows you to create flat, not dynamic files, which saves you in those situations. I would suggest you having something like this, especially if your blog becomes at all popular. The Disqus comment system. This actually replaces WordPress's comment system, and it has a lot of social aspects to it that are really cool, allowing people to be able to check in with their Twitter ID, for example, and show their picture and automatically tweet things. It's really powerful in terms of that. It's not free, but it is very cool, especially if you want to get a lot of engagement, interactivity going with your comment stream, and I would suggest that that's a good idea. Yet another related post plugin. So there are a number of these. Basically, you're trying to get something that shows related posts from your blog at the bottom of each blog post. Why? Because that increases readership. They move through and read one after another. WP-DB-backup backs up your WordPress database. I get an email every day that has a backup of my database, and so at any point in time I can go back and back it and replace it if something ever happens. Smart YouTube allows you to easily insert YouTube videos. There are a number of templates out there that make this easy, but if you don't have a template that allows that, this is a good plugin to use. Exclude pages from navigation. You need something like this. Pages, so in WordPress you can either create posts or you can create pages. Pages are things that don't go into your normal post stream. They don't drop off your index page. You can create them, and so like a contact us form or a privacy policy or something like that. But you can use this kind of tool, because what WordPress does by default is that it takes all those pages you create and puts them automatically into your navigation. You don't necessarily want that to happen. For example, you may want to do something that's a free offer, that if they do this, they can go to such and such a page and sign up and get this free offer. Well, you don't probably want that in your your navigation stream. And so a tool like Exclude Pages from Navigation allows you to remove that from the navigation stream and keep it hidden so that you can send people to it who you only want to have go there. Ask Apache Password Protects adds a level of protection for your passwords. WordPress's password program isn't as rigorous as we would like it to be, and you don't want people breaking in. Dynamic Content Gallery creates a dynamic image gallery so that you can have images of a bunch of different things, and you can put them in there and people can be able to see those images easily. FD Feed Burner plugin redirects all your feeds, your RSS feeds, to a feed burner feed, and there's a separate video about that in this particular module, so you can see what a feed burner feed is and why you want to use it. A featured content gallery. This is very cool. It creates a rotating image gallery that are hooked to the individual posts. And so what you can do is you can have your home page have featured articles in a picture with a link that pops up at the bottom or from the side or whatever that talks about that particular article. It's a great way to get people to get more interactive with your posts. It increases the readership, and it looks really good too. So I recommend that you use that. It's actually a very cool one. Twitter Tools integrates your blog with Twitter. You've got several different options in that you can use. WordPress Firewall. This, when I originally installed it, I thought, well, why do I need this? Now I'm totally sold on this. Basically what it does is it takes any kind of suspicious looking request to WordPress and it blocks them so they can't get through, and then sends you an email about them. And I get dozens of emails from this program a week, and I'm shocked at the number of people who are trying to do strange things and hijack and somehow control my WordPress so that they can hack into it. And so this is a great program to prevent those hacks and keep you safe. WP Facebook Like puts a like button on posts. WP Security Scan performs a security scan of your WordPress installation to make sure you haven't got any problems anywhere that put you at risk to hackers. WP iPhone theme formats your site with a mobile theme, so that if someone logs into it with their iPhone, they'll see a different version of your blog that's formatted just for their iPhone. Now a normal person will never see that unless they log in with an iPhone, and then they will see it, and it's very cool and makes it easier for them to read your blog via iPhone. So those are some of the ones that I recommend that you either install these specific ones or ones that do these functions. If you have other favorites in these, share them with us in the comments. Would love to hear them so that other people can add them in to their own blogs and get the advantages from them. I recommend that you use plugins, spend a little time researching, and you'll get some very cool things that will help you to achieve your goals with your blog. This is Don Crowther. Just go do this stuff. Hi, this is Don again with a special offer just for you. If you would like to get more free social media and internet marketing tips just like this, visit www.doncrowther.com and sign up for the free newsletter there. It's doncrowther.com. Just go do this stuff.